Namaskar. I am Dr. Ritu Tiwari, student of Bhishma School of Indic Studies, Master Program in Kautilya Arthashastra, Semester 1. This is a video for the paper MK04, Idea of Hindu King and Kingship, and I am submitting for my oral assessment. From the given so many topics, I have selected the king's security, which was mentioned in the widely mentioned in the Vedic Sahitya. King is a focal point of all the state, and defeated the king means an enemy can take over the state. So it is very much importance in the Vedic literature that king must have very good security. There are so many phrases to secure the king. The first one is the royal residence where the kings live. The king shall have his royal residence built on a site recommended by experts in the science of building. The complex should be surrounded by the rampart, and the moat has been provided with gates. There shall be many hall. The king's own chamber shall be built in center of the complex with the emergency exits for the use of case in sudden danger. And if the following model can be adopted: number one, the protected tracery means 3 round underground floors. The second model which is described is the middle of labyrinth with concealed passage with the walls, and the third structure, which is many times referred, that an underground chamber having concealed underground passage leading a nearby shrine, the exit from which the hidden by wooden image of the god, and with an emergency exit that can be secure the king's safety, as a hollow pillar behind the concealed troop door. The type of construction can be various as long as needed to safeguard oneself against the attack of the palace. Intimate is kept in mind. Kautilya also described so many things and so many methods regarding this. The residential quarter shall be protected against snakes and the other poisonous plant which deter make shall be planted. Snake killers like peacock and mongoose and birds which gave warning of the presence of poison shall be reared. The other building of the prince palace, behind king's own chamber, there shall be built the following structures like the residence of royal ladies and maternity ward, the infirmary and the water tank and groves. The residence of the prince and princess shall be beyond of this group of structure. The following shall be built in front of king's chamber: the king's dressing room, then after the counseling chamber, then the audience hall, and the hall for the education of the prince. Other than the movement control for the securing the safety of the king, everyone shall live in the quarters as assigned him and shall not move to the quarter of another. No one staying inside shall be establish contact with any outsider. Apart from that, every object which comes into the palace complex or goes out, it shall be examined, its arrival and departure recorded and sent to its destination. This is mandatory process for securing the king's residence. Other than that, for the king's personal security, just as kings watches over the security of the others through secret agents, so shall a wise king guard himself against the danger from others. The king's personal guard of female archer shall guard him for an adjacent chamber which while he is sleeping on his own. On waking up, he shall be received the second chamber of eunuch and the third chamber of draft, hatchbacks and other persons, and the fourth chamber which is followed by the ministers and king's men. and the door shall be guarded by the lancers. The king shall employ as his personal attendants those uh, uh, father and grandfather has been loyal servant of his under his service, those who are bound to him by close relationship or trained person who loyal to him and provide his service, those whose service has not been thought worthy of the reward, uh, the person who are ill and are not should not employed in as a royal guard to protect the king and his residence. On the other hand, the head cook shall in a well guarded place supervise the cooking and make a tasty dishes. The king shall eat only fresh cooked food after first making oblation to the sacred fire and offering food to the bird. Physician and expert of the person who can cure the poison, and other medical assistant, they ensure that the food is safe for the king, and after tasted by them, drinking water as well as wine as well as food, they have to taste first and then after they offer to the king. The king's female servant of proven integrity shall either supervise at the work, and they have to bath before and take a new clothes to before serving the king. And apart from that, so many other provisions are also there to secure the king's safety. He should inspect fully armed troop only when fully armed himself and riding a horse or an elephant or in a chariot. When the king leaves or enter in a fruit-filled area, the loyal road should be lined up both sides with the armed person, and he should not go alone anywhere without the previous surveillance. Apart from then, there must be a provision to protect the queen and the princes also, because there are so many evidence in the Vedic Sahitya where Bhadrasen was killed by his own brother and in a concealed chamber, a concealed queen's chamber, and Krusha also killed by his own son, hiding under his mother's bed. So all these are the examples before the Kautilya, and he makes sure the um, queens should also be examined because of the safety of king. The king shall visit the queen in her own apartment only after an old maid servant assure him as there is no danger from the queen, and he should forbid the queen for having contact with ascetics with the seven head or matted hair, jugglers, magician or female servant from outside. He should not not sure the members of the queen's family visit her except the maternity ward or in the infirmary. So it is also a provision to secure the safety of princess, is that therefore guard himself, and if the prince is not worthy or turn against the king, they should also be knocked down. Some researchers highlighted this statement, and Vishala is also said that killing is cruel, so an innocent may be killed. It is better to keep him under guard in one palace rather than destroy a Kshatriya. That type of statement we can also read in the literature. So thank you very much. Namaskar.